You're listening to Her Table Podcast with Alexis and Malia, where we explore what walking with Jesus looks like in real life. No filters, no pressure, where God meets us at the table, and there's always room for you. Mm, mm, mm.
Hey,
Hey,
it's
you
lighting up this time, so I can tell that it's our.
Oh, she's like, we're not panicking today. Well, happy Tuesday.
Yep. Sound checking. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
You sound more optimistic than I
do. I'm trying to lift the spirit. It's been a long week, and it's only
We say
Tuesday.
that every week.
Yes.
It is our last segment.
Before our 1 year, I literally was thinking that on my way over here. So, for our listeners, those who listen,
Is it a secret?
I don't think so. It's good.
Oh, that's fine. I thought you meant like what we
No.
Okay.
So I'm making these little gift bags, like as like a little thank you to people who have been listening, new listeners, old listeners. Hopefully, I'm talking to people in the future. Hey. So if you see me next week, right? Next week is our
next Tuesday is our 1 year. The 18th.
So next year.
Have a good one.
See ya. Next week, I'm gonna try to have my goodie bags ready, and super pumped, super excited. Which kind of, oh my gosh, it's just the age that got deleted. I'm like, oh my goodness, not my thing.
What just happened?
I thought I deleted my
notes,
yeah, and I'm like, please don't. But I do them in Google Docs, so like you can do the back thing.
You can also like backtrack your last saved data. Okay,
see all this new technology. 1 year.
That's crazy.
So we met last Tuesday, and we were, talking about our 1 year and like how a year before we started, we were like so pumped about it, and it like died. Like nothing came of it. And first off, I'd like to say, never in a million years have anybody ever told me that me and Malia would be sitting here.
You told me 10.
Like we said this before.
Yeah, if you told me like when I was like 18, you're like, you're gonna
be doing a podcast.
See, if you told me I'd be running a podcast, I'd be like, okay,
you and me. Like that's
what
I'm saying. Like if somebody said you and Malia in 5 years are going to be doing a Christian podcast.
Yeah, not only you and I doing a podcast, but you and I doing a Christian podcast. I'd be like
a consistent podcast too, not like half-butted.
But like, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If you told me like 10 years ago, like, you're gonna do a podcast, like, oh, dope. But if you were like, no, you're gonna do a podcast with your cousin Alexis, I'd be like, who?
See, and
then I'd be like, well, what are we doing? Like, oh, it's a Christian podcast. I'd be like
a singer, Christian, the pop singer,
Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, right? I just
Christian as in like Star Wars, him, Bale, something like that. I don't know.
Who? Star Wars?
Who is Luke?
Oh, I'm not good.
I think his name is Christian something. I don't know.
Now I gotta look. But continue.
Now I gotta look. But with our 1 year coming up, I feel like this theme that
Mark Hamill.
No.
Hamill, yes. That's who played him.
Who played who?
Luke Skywalker.
In the original?
Yes.
Let me see. No, who played young Luke? That's old Luke.
That is young Luke.
No, it's not.
What?
Look up Luke Christian, like put in that combo. Luke Skywalker. Young Luke Skywalker.
Okay, I will look up.
That he looks like he's.
That is from like the first movie, which is actually the fourth movie.
Yeah, we're not doing the chronological. I mean, who played young Luke?
Mark Hamill.
You know what? You're not.
I'm
You're not. Hold on a second. We're gonna look this up real quick.
I looked up Luke Skywalker Christian, and it said Luke Skywalker is not a Christian.
Hayden Christensen. This is young Luke Skywalker.
That's Anakin, brother.
No.
No, it literally says Anakin underneath it. That's Anakin. That's his father.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna have a whole bunch of people in here. I'm gonna be canceled.
You're talking to a Star Wars fan. That's Anakin's. That's his dad.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I apologize.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
You know what? I kept saying Luke Skywalker, and I'm like, I was getting the Skywalker right. It's just not the
like
right
young. I'm like, that is young. That's
I was like, who is that old man?
I'm like, this is when he doesn't become old until.
You know what this just reminded me of? You know, there's a clip on the internet of two guy friends, and they're arguing about
her sister was a witch.
Yes.
What does that make her sister?
This just
a princess. She
this
came down in a bubble
gay.
dog.
Two separate skits, same vibe.
Yeah.
That's what I just literally felt. So first off, I'd like to apologize to the Skywalker family
And the Star Wars community.
and to the Skywalker. I mean, the Star Wars community, because I was like in my whole chest. I was like willing to.
And like true
life
fans who know the actors were like, no, it's Anakin.
And I could see the vein in her forehead pulsing, and I'm like, she might be right. She might, and I'm like, hold on.
Well, because you don't find out because it doesn't go in chronological order. You don't find out that it's Anakin until.
I dated a guy who was super into it, and he would probably be like, that dumb. She don't know what she's talking about.
He's screaming at his laptop right now.
I'm definitely probably not listening, but that was too funny.
Anyways,
I do apologize.
It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. How did we even get there? Oh, because you're talking about a Christian podcast.
Yeah.
You said Christian Star Wars, and I was like, what?
But still.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. And I apologize for that. Yeah.
But we went with a fork in the road. But yes, but I'm honestly gonna say I'm super happy.
I want to change the title too. Who played Luke Skywalker in Star Wars?
With that being said, I feel like it ties into my theme for this week. So when I left here last week, I'm always praising Julia and her fabulous connections to the outside world and to God's word. I was watching this TV show called Will Trent. I'm super into
Will Trent?
Yeah, Will Trent. It's like
Trent.
Trent, yes.
I thought you said Trent.
It's a cop show. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're such a what's it called? SVU.
Oh, the hardcore.
I love Law and Order. Yeah. Love it.
But it also makes your brain so dark, and you're like, now my kid can't go outside because Janie from Wichita went missing 42 years ago. Nobody's found her.
That's
yet.
me and my murder podcast. I'm like, now I know what to look. I
need to see, or else I would listen.
Mm-hmm.
I need
the visual.
I need to know what Janice looked like.
Yeah.
It's not forming in my brain. But spoiler alert for anybody that is watching Will Trent, which I probably feel like people probably aren't because it's been out for a hot minute. But season 4 left me with some serious feelings. First of all, driving to work.
Oh, you told me about this. Yeah.
And devastated. I was devastated. So I wrote some notes so I didn't get too jumbled.
Excuse me. Oh my God.
So it starts with, first of all, I want to give a little backstory. So my girl Angie and my boy Will, they're like besties.
They're the main character. Oh.
They're like basically the main.
Okay.
There's a few mains, but they're like the main.
Yeah.
So they're like their childhood friends. They protected each other. They looked out for each other. They're like best friends with some sort of romance mixed in.
They always
they go their separate ways, but when life gets tough or beats them up, they always find each other again, and they're constantly looking out for each other. So it doesn't work out between them, kind of really ruffled their relationship. So Angie gets married. Angie had it rough. Her mom used to sell her to
Oh.
people, and like she had it bad.
Mhm.
So now she finds a man that loves her. They get married. She gets pregnant. You know, all of season 4 was her pregnancy and just how super ready she was for this moment. And then in the middle of what should have been the happiest moment of her life, everything changed. Seth dies from the injuries he sustained on a. They got into a car accident on. They got T-boned on the way to the hospital. So he dies from the injuries. Angie survives. The baby survives, and eventually Will. She's like depressed, like postpartum times a million. Her baby's crying, and she isn't even
listening.
She ain't even in the room.
Yeah.
And so now here comes Will. Of course, he takes care of the baby. He takes care of Angie. She's like months of depression. You know, her husband just died. Like
she's in the trenches. World,
yes. And so it means a lot. And so then all of a sudden, Will and Angie find themselves in a place they once imagined for themselves. The baby, like, they're kind of leaning on each other again. They're right back to where they were.
Yeah.
First off, I got ahead of myself. The title of my podcast today is God, That's Not What I Meant. So
yeah, I put the title as what did I put the title as? It was like when the I don't know.
Whatever I sent you
yeah.
is yes.
When the answer doesn't always look like the prayer.
Yeah, I felt like that was like a little weird. I felt like that.
I wrote
right?
when the answer doesn't look like the prayer.
Yes. So I'm crying on my way to work, and I'm thinking, this is exactly what we wanted. Like, as the fans, we wanted them to be together, but not like that.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm just like crying, and I'm just thinking, like, this is my next podcast. Like, because how many times have we prayed for something and God gives it to us in a way we didn't expect? In life, this happens a lot, and we find ourselves saying, God, that is not what I meant. And so I'm thinking, what kind of story can I use? Because you know me, I'm all about my stories. I'm like, what story can I use to really illustrate? There's so many of them, first off. But I picked Joseph and his brothers. I feel like we've touched on this.
Didn't we just talk about that?
We touched on it, I think, a little bit in... Was it the last one?
I think it was the last one you did.
Well, me? That I did?
Yeah, because I didn't talk about him.
Well, that just lets you know it's a fabulous story, and you can read it 100 times and get a million different outcomes, like, of what you take from it. So I'm gonna give a few verses, just like where you can find like this part of the story. But the story of Joseph and his brothers takes place in Genesis 37. Joseph has these dreams about his future, dreams that seem to point toward his family bowing down like to him, like he's a ruler and they're bowing to him. God gave Joseph a glimpse of his promise. And now, of course, his brothers are like, oh, so you think we're just going to bow down to you? You're the little brother. That's not going to happen. And plus, the dad liked him better. He favored him over the other brothers. And so the brothers already kind of had a little beef with him to begin with. So what happened next is in Genesis 37, 18 to 28, his brothers betray him. They're like, oh, it's something off in that little ditch down there. Go down and see what it is. You know, whatever, lied to him. And then they throw him in the pit. That is Genesis 37, 24. He's then sold into slavery. Genesis 37, 28. And then he's falsely accused while in slavery. Genesis 39, 7 to 20. He's then thrown into prison, Genesis 39, 20 to 23. And now he's like, this can't be it. This cannot be the promise God was talking about.
Yeah.
Now, this wasn't just like a couple months. This was like years of
13.
just nothing good happening,
Oh, no, he was in prison for 13 years. I don't know how many consecutive years he did the slavery and all that.
It makes you wonder how many times Joseph thought, this cannot be what you showed me. How many times have we prayed for something? Then all of a sudden we get it and we're like, that's not quite how I was hoping it would happen. And God's like, that wasn't the deal. I said I'd give you the promise. How you get there.
Did you listen to that sermon I sent you?
I didn't.
Because I just felt like I knew you were going to talk about this.
And it's so funny.
And it talks about Esther, how that's not what she wanted.
Okay.
She was queen and everything, but it's not what she wanted. Shout out to Craig Groeschel, Life Church.
Absolutely. I'm doing a Woman of the Bible study. I love the ladies of the Bible.
I know Esther with your girls.
Esther is my girl, and I'm on Hagar right now too, which is also my girl. Ruth. All right, we're getting sidetracked because I get easily distracted. I say this. I feel like I heard it somewhere.
I think I know what you're about to say.
Jesus takes you the long way.
I knew you were going to say that.
Don't mean he's taking you the wrong way.
I knew you were going to say that.
I was hoping you weren't going to say it.
Tattooed across your forehead.
I might get it on my leg. Something on the...
Just go down. Just go down.
All the way down the thigh.
From the hip to the ankle. Yeah. Just like font like this big.
But it's so true. He's dying.
You always say he's slow. You always say that.
Oh my, see, this is how you know. It's true. If flies are flying slow, they're dying.
Where he at?
Oh gosh. I think he's on the window. He heard us talking about it. But that line is so true. And I feel like that's why I say it all the time. Joseph's journey was long. It was painful. It was confusing. And I'm sure from Joseph's perspective, there were probably moments when it looked like he was going completely in the opposite direction of God's promise. But we always have to remember, the pit wasn't the wrong way. Prison wasn't the wrong way. And him waiting wasn't the wrong way. I think sometimes we forget that those hard parts are still part of our journey. And it talks about it in James, where it says we should find joy in our trials or tribulations, and it's easier said than done. I give girls advice all the time, and then I turn around and I'm like, girl, you ain't even taking your own advice.
It's like being pregnant in a nutshell. It's your body, you're creating a life, you're doing all this, and now here I am I'm an ogre.
Right? And it's easy to
dish it and not take it.
Right. It's easy to give out that advice, and then we're like, well, we talked about this on Dear Grace, when it's you don't know what somebody went through for their answered prayer.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how long that mom's been waiting for that baby.
Yeah.
And you're now just entering your journey and, things like that. But it's
He's kicking me right in my ribs.
He's first of all, don't talk about my mama like that. Who said an ogre?
It makes me jolt.
She's being a human, so we'll let her jiggy and jive.
Come on,
Good thing this isn't video. we mistake a lot of things in our journey too. I feel like sometimes we mistake being patient and taking things slow as, well, it's wrong. I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I should go
Yeah.
back to what I was doing. No, no. Slow doesn't mean wrong. Slow doesn't mean, you know, anything
And say
bad.
another one of your famous quotes
Hmm.
is during a test.
The teacher is silent.
Yeah.
No, ain't nobody talking
No.
during the test. No one's talking.
You get the shh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, that's so true. That's so true. But again, it's easier to say these things.
Yeah.
It's easier
sure.
to say, oh, Malia, you know, you're waiting for a baby, just be patient. Oh, Malia, you're looking for housing, just be patient. And Pastor touches on that too. Like sometimes people say, oh, it's in God's hands. Well, I'm going to give you these hands because I don't want to hear that right
A
now.
girl at my job says, these hands are rated E for everyone.
I call this the people's elbow. Anybody can get it.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you know what I mean? So it's like, this podcast is about being real.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't want to hear the godly answer, even though you still have that faith. I feel like you can have faith and still be like, what is happening?
Shaken. Yeah.
Like, what is happening right now? And I feel like sometimes we can mistake what's different for being, you know, for God denying us for what we want. We mistake waiting for God's forgotten about me. That's a big one.
Yeah. Then they get angry.
Oh my goodness. Hold on 1 second. I do apologize. I have to make a phone call. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on.
Are you okay?
Yes.
What do I? Am I supposed to put in an ad here?
Yes. Sell some stuff.
We are not sponsored by anybody. But if you if you don't go to church, I have no idea what to say. I wasn't prepared for this. But this is a real podcast where life happens. And this is kind of what happens when you go live. There's no opportunity for editing, except after you've gone live. So maybe I can edit this part out once it's posted, which I probably will do because this is really awkward. And I'm just here for the viewers.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry, guys.
Everything good?
Yes. Oh my god, now I can't get in. Oh, no, we're good. All right. I feel like this is something a lot of people struggle with, especially people who aren't in the church but maybe might be thinking about coming back to the church, and they're like, yeah, well, I've been praying about such and such and it hasn't happened yet. If you don't know the rules to the game, you can't play right.
Yeah.
And you're not going to win. And sometimes you might win by chance, maybe. But if you don't know the rules and the instructions, and that's what God's word is, you're just going to think you're losing all the time when really you're like, He's preparing you. He's getting you ready. Which my next little bulletin is, God may be taking you somewhere you couldn't get through the shortcut. I'm a shortcut queen. I like to skip through instructional videos. I like to skip down on the instructions on things I get and wonder why I've got 3 extra screws.
Yeah, you don't read the instruction
You know what
book.
I mean? So, sometimes the long way is where God develops character, wisdom. It could be patience. He could be testing our faith. We talked about in church a couple Sundays ago, David and Goliath. How David, nobody expected this little shepherd boy to slay and set free his people.
Yeah.
But he was like, ooh, he was like, hold on.
Excuse me, sorry.
God gives us giants sometimes to make us giant slayers. And so sometimes, again, it's easier to say and be like, yeah, words of wisdom, faith, patience, kindness, understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And as I leave here, I'm yelling at the people because no one's letting me out, and I've been sitting here for 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So
it's always when you're trying to leave my driveway.
listen, I back in so I can just pull right out. So
yeah.
when I gotta sit there, it's all good. I can see. But sometimes that waiting period is building us for what's ahead.
Mm.
And I feel like I've touched on this in the past. Sometimes you have to let go of what you think feels so comfortable, so familiar. Because we talked about this, we see about, I'd say, 5% of what God has planned for us. He sees 100% of what he has planned, and he's like, just trust me. You ever like drive with a friend and they're like, this street looks
driving with you. You're like, weren't you supposed to take that exit back there?
We're like, good example. That's my mom's soul. I don't know the city, so if we're driving into the city, like, I need directions. This was like Google Maps wasn't like super big. You needed
still
data,
MapQuest.
like, right. So my mom's like, oh, I know Boston, old stomping grounds. I'll take you to the South Station. Papa. We get over the line to get into Boston, and she's like, huh, Boston's changed. Now we're lost. But it's like,
you take one wrong turn in Boston.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
For those of you who've never been here or don't know, Boston is not like New York on a grid system.
It's a grid system that somebody drew with their eyes closed.
A blind man.
Yes. And he just placed one-way streets.
On every
randomly.
block.
Yes. So, having faith in God in these situations is like the faith I had in my mom.
It's like driving through Boston.
It's like, I knew we were lost. If we went out of our way, we could have got there an hour sooner had we gone the right way, So it's like God's taking us the way we're supposed to go. We're like, but God, we should have took that exit. He's like, oops, sorry. I know this is the way. But we're like, but the sign said this is the way.
It's kind of like getting frustrated when you're driving because you're being slow or you prevented, you're in a rush and you got to go somewhere. God's like, you need to slow down.
Okay.
I'm trying to get you to slow down because you're not supposed to be where you think you're supposed to be because you think
you're supposed to be
right.
There. Right. When we think we're supposed to be
right.
Yes. Exactly. And I feel like that's what Joseph was going through. He's like, you showed me basically like royalty. People my family is bowing down. They just sold me to some passerbyers for 110 pence.
Shekels.
I was going to say shekels. I was. That's so funny. So I'm sure we've all been in situations where, the Holy Spirit has said, this is going to happen. And all of a sudden, like, you lose your job, your car breaks down, your partner breaks up with you, and you're like, you told me prosperity was going to happen.
And I feel like that's why some people fall out of the church.
If we're not reading our word, we're not going to know that this is part of the process.
Like, if nothing's happening to you, you should be scared. Because the devil already got a hold of you. He don't attack. He don't attack the folks that.
Right. He ain't recruiting people who are already on his team.
Right.
Ain't that the truth? So, in this story, God wasn't just getting Joseph to the palace. God was preparing Joseph for the palace. I'm gonna say that again. He was getting him ready for the palace. And now again, we're probably thinking like, we're talking about the same guy who someone lied on his name. He didn't even do anything. They threw him in prison, and now what? Now he's waiting.
Right.
So, and eventually Joseph goes from the pit to prison to a position of authority in Egypt. Little background: Joseph could interpret dreams. That's what made him so special. And so the Pharaoh
I just really grabbed some dreams.
Was having these dreams that people couldn't interpret. So Joseph interpreted for him. So he put him in charge of like the land.
Right.
In Genesis, so what Joseph interpreted for the Pharaoh was basically like there was going to be 7 years of famine and 7 years of like healthy, good eating, full crops, like all this.
Right.
Obviously, I believe the good came before the bad. I believe the prosperity came before the demise. And so that's what Joseph was in charge of. He was in charge of splitting up the food. Who got how much, where this went, who got what. And he wasn't like a scumbag or nothing. He was a good, he was doing what he needed to do for the people. So it wasn't like he was just, out for himself. Then in Genesis 50:20, Joseph's brothers come. At first they don't realize it's Joseph. And now they're like, we have no food. We're hoping you can spare, some cattle, some rice, some wheat, barley, all the stuff. But that's what they needed to survive back then. Joseph reveals that it's him to his brothers. They're like, oh my goodness, we're so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, please show mercy on us. And he says to them, you intended to harm me, but God intended it for good.
Mm.
Joseph didn't say what you did was good.
Mm.
He said God took what you intended for evil and he used it for good. And I sang the same. I'm gonna
see a victory.
Okay.
We can't.
We're gonna go to jail.
Our first year of being in the
We've already sung 3 songs. We have no copyrights too. But he is our victory.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to see us through. How many times have we been in the pits? Like, you've been obedient, you've been this and you've been that, and like I said, now you don't have a job. The lights are about to get shut off.
Fourth man in the fire.
Okay. I was just telling somebody, I don't have enough money to get all the luxury things that I would like to get, but I have enough money to put gas in my car, to pay my bills, to put a
be
few
rich
groceries
in life,
in my house. Exactly. God's just what?
So, I think you put bills and groceries together.
Bills.
Yeah, I think you said
groceries.
Yeah, I think you said groceries.
Oh, not the groceries. Not the groceries. I mean,
we need those too. Yeah.
Pay the bills and the groceries.
I'm gonna show you.
I mean, if you can pay it all at once.
Yeah. You're checking and the savings.
Sometimes you gotta move the checking to the saving, back to the saving, to the checking again, switch it back. But we've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all been in what feels like the pit. We've all been in a situation where we feel like we've been sold out or hung out to dry or the scapegoat or, whatever it is. And sometimes we pray for an outcome without understanding the process. How many and this also makes me think of that beggar's prayer that Pastor Gomez was talking about when he was like, we shouldn't be praying like, Father God, if it's your will, please, help my friend.
Call it out to him, yeah.
Like, the God that you serve. Father God, I command health to my friend. I know you're going to make her better. I know you're going to fix her finances. I know you're going to get her the job she deserves, that she needs, not the job that she might want. You know what I mean? And so it makes me wonder How many times have we said, God, I want the marriage, I want the family, I want the restoration, the opportunity, and I want these doors to open.
Mm.
And sometimes we think God doesn't hear us.
Right.
And sometimes God's up there like, okay, well, I'm going to give it to you, but.
It's like you brought up that video that one time about the dog and the chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah.
To refresh everyone's memory, I was watching this video like a year ago, maybe like 6 months, whatever. And, this guy's eating chocolate, and his dog's like, wants the chocolate. And he's like, buddy, like, you can't have it. And obviously the dog doesn't understand what he's saying to him.
But
And
he
like,
wants that
he
chocolate.
does. He's drooling. He probably thinks in his brain, that is the number one thing I need in my life right now.
And it tastes good, and it's this. And he don't even know.
He know if God gave, if his master gave him his owner master stuff.
Yeah, that was wild coming from you.
Yeah. My ancestors said, his even owner anyway, his person.
He's
if
a
he
dog
had given
owner,
him the chocolate, he would die.
Yeah, it would kill him.
And sometimes God's like, if I give you this relationship or this job or this amount of money or this opportunity,
it might look good. It might feel good.
Demise you. Like you're gonna fail. Like you're not gonna get what you think you're gonna get. And so, sometimes I'm watching this and I'm thinking, what happens when God's answer doesn't look like our picture? And you say, God, that's not what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's where faith gets tested. Because it's easy to trust God when the answers look exactly the way we wanted. It's harder when God says, I'm going to answer this differently. And I'm going to be careful here. Because, like I said in this show, as a fan who absolutely binged an entire season in like a month, because I had to feel like I need to spread it out, because I knew there was only 4 seasons.
Yeah, I didn't want
to eat all the chocolate at once.
Yeah.
When I finally got to the last season, I was saying to myself, like, I don't believe we should look at tragedy and say, well, God took Seth, the husband in the show, because he wanted Will and Angie together. Sometimes people will say, oh, well, they got divorced because God wants up. Girl, maybe God just let them get divorced because they need a little time apart, and then when they get back together, they're gonna be stronger than ever.
That
comes Coochie Sally.
They need a healing of a broken heart,
restoration. You know what I mean? And so we're real quick to think the first thing that happens after our prayer could be the answer, when sometimes the devil gives gifts too.
And he don't need an introduction. He don't need an invitation.
Nope. All he needs is to hear what you want. And we tell him all the time, I just want
I wish I had $1 million.
Yeah. Also brings me back to when Pastor was talking about sometimes we want God to change our situation, and God ends up changing us.
I remember when Colin and I were going through all that stuff, I kept praying with God.
I'm going to take a sip of this, but I won't put my mouth.
Okay.
My mouth is dry.
I remember I used to pray like, God, don't change my eyes. I'm so distracted by this. Oh, yeah, because I knew that was going to happen.
I thought you were watching because you were going to make sure I didn't touch my lips.
No. I knew you were going to spill it. Like, she's like, I'm cooled down now.
He's got most of it.
I used to pray like, God, don't change my heart. And that's exactly what God had to do.
I was like, what'd she say? Is she talking to me? You know what?
He said, don't? Right.
Okay. Yes. But it's like that sometimes.
Yeah.
I was in a relationship, and like God convicted me on certain things that I felt like kind of like drew a wedge between us. And it's hard sometimes for people who know the old you to let go of the old you when God changes you. And they're like, well, this is temporary. Like, you'll be back to, popping and squatting and fighting in the street or whatever it is that God delivered us from.
The amount of times I've had old friends be like, right, but you're going to turn around and do it again. No.
I hope I don't. You might be right. I might fall.
Yeah.
No one's perfect. And
but also, that was 5 years ago, Janice.
It could be 5 days ago. We have a God that forgives.
Yeah.
And he tells us that we're supposed to forgive. And if you can't forgive somebody for whatever it is they did, and maybe if they keep doing it and that doesn't sit well with you, sure, up and leave. But, not to get too distracted.
Excuse me.
God doesn't God doesn't make bad things happen to make good things happen. You know, God didn't, again, it's a TV show. This guy's not really dead, but, in the show, God didn't kill Angie's husband just so Will and Angie could get together. Like, that's not...
Like the song we were just singing, you take what the enemy meant for evil and you use it for good.
Exactly.
Yeah. Excuse me, oh my gosh. I'm a mess. I have heartburn so bad right now.
Because I'm sure Angie didn't pray for Seth's death.
Right.
So she wouldn't have said, God, please give me my family, but take my husband first.
Right.
No.
Right.
How many times have we said, God, this isn't what I asked for. This isn't how I thought it was going to happen. This isn't what I pictured. And maybe the question isn't always, God, why did you let this happen? But maybe sometimes the question should become, God, now that I'm here, what are you going to do with this? Because there's nothing like we can do but trust in him. The more we read his word, the more we realize how to trust in him. And I was looking up a few verses that kind of tie into this, and I came across Romans 8:28, and we know that for all. Nope. That is not. it.
Try again.
And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good.
I see where you tied the two in together.
I literally, it took every ADD fiber I had to focus on that phrase. And it doesn't say not everything that happens is good. It's an important distinction. Betrayal isn't good. Loss isn't good. Heartbreak doesn't feel good. And waiting doesn't always feel good. But God is able to work all things together for good.
Yeah, there you go.
Like the song. Sometimes, I can't even really even think of a tragic situation, but sometimes.
I mean, you lost your mom. That's tragic.
Yes.
In a real world setting, maybe not to you. But...
Oh my goodness!
Sorry, I didn't mean to say it like. I know, I didn't mean to say it like that. No.
I mean, she's not wrong. But dang.
In a real life setting, that's tragic.
It's tragic.
But you grew from that.
The good that came from it. It definitely brought me and my sisters closer together.
Yeah.
It allowed me to...
Sorry I said it like that.
She was like, not that you care, but I was like, oh. It allowed, yes, a lot of growth in areas that I was holding on to.
Yeah.
I was angry about. So, yes, real quick, I used to go to this all-girls Christian camp when I was 10, 11. My parents used to send me and my sisters for 2 weeks. And these two girls got into a horrific accident.
You told
me in front of everybody. And so, of course, we gathered up and everybody's just consoling everybody. And the counselors are letting everyone ask questions if they've got them. And somebody said, why would God let this happen? That is horrible. We're literally at a Christian camp.
10 years old.
Raising him. Yeah. And thankfully these girls survived.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they survived. I don't know what kind of scars or anything like that. But the camp culture was like, sometimes bad things happen to make room for good things.
Yeah.
It brought all the kids together. There was no cliques in this moment. Everybody was friends. Nobody was gossiping. You know what I mean? So it literally like cleared the air. Like for like the last like couple of days, everyone just kind of grieved together over these girls and just a tragic accident that happened. And that's, one of those things that sometimes, bad things have to happen for good things to happen.
We also have the power of free will.
Which is what causes the bad things. And
Right.
in Bible study, and I was reading on Adam and Eve and how that's the first sin. They destroyed
They
it
set
for
the standard.
everybody, right? Like, and that wasn't a good one. Very low to the ground. Like God said, you came from the dust, you will go back to dust. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you will be cursed. And so, but with that sin came Jesus. He died for us
Mm-hmm.
so that we could have, an attempt at eternal life and a relationship with God.
John 10:10.
Okay? Because he comes to rob, boost, and steal. I'm sure boost and steal is the same.
Boost.
It does not say that in the Bible.
It comes to steal, kill, and destroy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Boost.
Boost your soul. But it also brought me to Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight.
Yeah.
I flexed a little on that one. I didn't even need to look at my computer. Not gonna lie. But it's so true. And it doesn't say understand everything and then trust God. It says trust God and do not lean on your own understanding. Sometimes we want God to explain the entire plan before we trust him. And God's like, either you get in this car or you can walk.
Mm-hmm.
And some of us choose to walk because we're like, I need to know. And he's like, either way, you ain't gonna know.
There's gonna be things you never understand.
I have a girlfriend at work and she's got some big like life decisions to make. And she's like, it's so hard, Alexis, because I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, that can be scary. And again, I can easily just sit here and give wise words of wisdom, but I remember driving to Tennessee and crying the entire way because I didn't know what was going to happen. My car going to break down.
You're trusting a road that you've never been on.
I put my faith in Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
the anchor to my. That's all we can
Not
say.
to tie in another Disney movie, but Frozen 2, Elsa goes into the unknown, completely blind, not knowing what's calling her, but something is calling her.
Okay,
Ooh.
you know what?
You know
she
what?
just gave. See, do you see what I mean? Like what?
Well,
Like,
the song
yeah,
Into the Unknown.
I'm saying what as in like
Yeah.
killed it.
Yeah.
Like yes. It was like,
Wait, she's listening to a voice that's calling her and she doesn't even know what the voice
Wasn't
is.
it like her mom or something?
It was like her ancestors.
Okay.
So
Well,
kind of
sounds-
like on the same path as
But
Jesus.
yes,
Disney is
so-
secretly Christian. I said what I said.
I have other feelings on Disney, but I feel what you're getting at.
Can't focus on the old cartoon.
I know, yes.
They've evolved.
It was always still there, but
Walt is dead.
is he? No, I'm just playing.
Is he though?
But faith often looks like taking the next step without having the whole map. I always say trusting God is feeling is.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this one more time.
Yeah. You've had a hard day.
Trusting God feels irresponsible. And I remember like I got in a car accident and I had no idea how I was going to buy a new car, when I was going to be able to get a new car. But God got me to work, whether it was with a ride from this one, a ride from that one. This one picked me up, this one dropped me off, this one drove me halfway, this one can only bring me this far.
Okay, I've brought you a
got
few
to work.
times, yeah.
I was still getting an income. That's faith.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what was going to happen. And now I've got a car that I don't have no payments on. A lot of bad stuff has happened in between, but I've got one more, and then oh my god, I still have a whole bunch. I feel like Alex. I got tied up, but I'm gonna just blitz through these. Isaiah 55, 8 through 9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways. This is where I think Joseph's story becomes powerful. Joseph could only see the pit. He couldn't. God could see the palace. Joseph could see the prison. God could see the purpose, and so on and so forth. Sometimes we do not see the larger picture. But the hardest part sometimes is letting go of our vision. Sometimes we don't just have to trust God with the answer. We have to trust Him with what the answer looks like. Because sometimes restoration doesn't mean going backwards. Sometimes God doesn't give us back what we lost. Sometimes He builds something new out of the pieces. Um, I'm going to close it with that because we're already
You're
pretty
good.
on our way and it really hurts. I feel like I might be making a human. Just kidding. I'm
Oh.
definitely not.
Oh.
More like a
Oh.
movement. More like a cheeseburger that's making its way downtown.
I
See?
can't.
Walking fast. And I'm home fast. Oh,
Okay.
homebound. Alright, that's enough. We're getting sued.
Well,
But-
thank you for sharing.
Yes, and let's not forget, just because God's taking you the long way, don't mean He's taking you the wrong way. Thank you for tuning into WBZY. It's
I'm dead. She's a
I'm just
late
kidding.
night talk host.
Miss your hubs, Alexis and Aaliyah. Keeping it smooth with the jazz hits all night.
Not
long.
the jazz hit. All right, guys. Well, we will see you next week for our 1 year. Thank you so much for joining us here at her table. In this episode, did you get him?
I did.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. Wow. I think he's just dazed and confused. Though.
Why I said that. That's not what I meant to say.
I mean, I don't know where we were going, but I also said it, so.
Thank you for joining us here at her table. If this episode encouraged you, share it with a friend and remind them that joy is already around us. You don't have to go far looking for it, but it's right there in the life that God has given you. And we appreciate all of you so much. It's been a Tuesday for us today. She just killed a fly with her own hands.
Oh, well, he's still kind of moving, but he's dazed and confused. I
I'm
did
dead.
get him.
I don't know why I said konnichiwa,
We're
but
not.
that's Japanese for something. I think
Yeah.
it means hello.
I think so.
Oh, I got him too. Oh, he dazed for real. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Ooh.